Hey everybody, happy Friday. It is I, your songwriting partner, your co-producer, and as always, your friend, Joe Seeby. And today today is Friday, happy Friday, and what we do on Friday usually is we write a melody. And so today is Melody Friday. And we're writing this melody based on what we wrote yesterday in Thursday's creative writing class that we call Picture This. And in Picture This, we wrote a series of words based on a photograph that I showed you in the class. And the photograph was almost like a computer mannequin-y looking head. And in the back, he was turning into falling apart, and there was very square blocks falling off of him, very computer generated looking photograph. And you can see the photograph. In fact, we'll post it up here, right here. And so that's what we wrote, or I wrote my lyrics based on. I don't know what you wrote your lyrics based on, but today we're going to try to birth a melody from the words that I came up with for this. And I talk about this all the time. I always try to keep this in mind for those of you who are just just visiting for the first time, have never been a part of these classes. You're just wandering on YouTube and happen to stumble on some of these. Welcome aboard. And secondly, what is a melody, right? A melody is a tune that you can hum, right? Like Happy Birthday, That is the melody. You can hum it, or you could whistle it, or you can play it on the keyboard, like that, So there's a lot of, and that is not lyrics. So I just want to always reiterate that. A melody is a melody. Lyrics are lyrics. When you combine lyric and melody, then Happy Birthday becomes Happy Birthday to you. Happy Birthday lyrics by themselves is Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear, fill in the blank. Happy birthday to you. The melody for Happy Birthday is when you add them together again, it's Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So that is lyric and melody marrying each other. When you combine the melody and the lyric, that's what you get. That's what you sing at someone's birthday. You don't hum it. You sing the words, the lyrics. Words are lyrics. And then you sing the melody along with the lyric. And then you have your song. So, in fact, that's when you copyright a song. Like when let's say we're writing this right now for a song, and let's say it's for Justin Bieber. We're writing a song for Justin Bieber, let's say, just for fun. When you read the credit sheet for this song, let's say, one of you wrote it, or all right, let's just say I wrote it, because I did. Lyric and melody by Joe Seeby. Performed by Justin Bieber. But if he didn't write it, then I wrote it. So it'll say written by, produced by, let's say, Alexander Tovar produces it. Produced by Alexander Tovar. Melody and lyric written by Joe Seeby. Maybe Alexander wrote the piano chords for it. We worked on it together. So he came up with the chord progression and I wrote the melody. In this case today, though, I wrote both. I wrote a melody and I also wrote the chord progression. What came first? In this instance, the melody did. I I started to hear a melody, you know, like I do all the time. I start to, you know, look at my words, and the words already start telling me a story. And then that story will lend itself to some sort of, whether it's like happy, whether it's sad, and then the music will I'll start to visualize the music in my head internally. Like I always tell you, it's like a song I hear, but it's not crystal clear. It's kind of far away sounding and out of focus. Kind of like something that's way off in the background in a picture. It's not real clear. It's sort of fuzzy and maybe out of focus. Well, that's how music is to me sometimes. I start to hear some ideas, but it's not all the way in the front of my head. It's like all the way back here somewhere. And I have to pull it down from my brain data banks and try to, you know, and try to bring it out here so that you guys can hear it as well. So if I have to break it down though, like if, you know, when you break it down to math, you know, a melody, a lot of it comes from, you know, scales. I always tell you this, when we have vocal classes, we go over scales. And the reason we go over scales is because they are your tools to create melodies, okay? So in this case, okay, so I started in this key. I don't know what key I'm actually in right now. I'm actually, let me see something. I'm in F sharp, actually. I'm in F sharp. So I went, that's like when I first started to sing it, it just fell there for me for some reason, you know? So I was going, you know, and when I sang it and flushed it out, I realized it's derived from the major scale, right? Right? Oh, sorry. That's a major scale, right? So I was going, then, right? So if I had to really trace back to what my melody, where it started from, and I had to tell you mathematically what it was born from, it was born from a major scale. But that's about it. I mean, because it's a lot more intricate than just a major scale. When you write a melody, you're not just singing a scale up and down. You're picking notes out of it to create a melodic pattern, okay? So I started to sing based on like, you know, just like, that's kind of the cadence where I started it from, right? So I was going, you know, when you feel like giving up, you know, when you feel like giving up. So that's the first note the first notes I started to put together. So, that was the first line I had, you know, so it's, you know, like that, you know. I didn't have the chords yet, but I was like, you know, like they were a little bit there, but I, you know, couldn't define them perfectly until I flushed the melody out more. So I was going, you know, when you feel like giving up, and then I went, and we're drifting apart and falling out of touch. So like I wanted it to like really, the whole thing to sound like it kind of tilted. And what I mean by that is, so I found my first chord. I went, I thought that was nice, right? So I'm going, then I went, that's nice, right? So I was going, when you feel like giving up and you're falling apart and falling out of touch. No, and you're drifting apart. So we're going, when you feel like giving up and you're drifting apart and falling out of touch, right? So alone, so far away, we made a lot of mistakes. Now we don't feel the same. So, I thought that was kind of nice how it was going into that, you know, it's like, that's it. And it goes. That's it. So it's like, yeah. So, you know, the more I flushed it out, I started, you know, hearing that. I thought it was really neat. So I was going, you know, like, da 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 na 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 na, da 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 da. And then I wanted it to be really melodic, and I didn't want to sing anything there. So, what I did was, I was actually playing it on my guitar a little bit too. So I started to find those chords on my guitar. And so I got my guitar and I started to play those same notes. And I was going, you know. Right, so then I started to say, wait, I got my words and I went, you know, when you feel like giving up and we're falling apart and falling out of touch, so alone, so far away, we made a lot of mistakes, now we don't feel the same. We're picking up all the pieces, yeah. Picking up all the pieces. And that's really, you know, the whole thing in a nutshell. So I thought it was nice just the way the chords kind of flowed with the melody, you know. And like I said, I was hearing it in my head, not all the way developed, but it was kind of there, you know. And I hope you understand the process that, you know, led me here from its inception. Because, you know, I was just, at first I always look at the root notes, not chords. I just go, you know, when you feel like giving up and you're drifting apart and going out of touch, so alone, so far away, we made a lot of mistakes and we don't feel the same. We're picking up all the pieces, yeah. We're picking up all the pieces. So that's kind of what I heard, you know. And then, you know, I thought dynamically we could do some really neat stuff. Now, I have not, like, produced it, but I just wanted to get the melody first and the chords together. And just to show you how these things come to fruition from just an idea up here till I bring it down and where I get it from. Like, what are my tools I'm using to create these melodies and these phrases? Well, like I said, this is why, you know, I don't know theory. I'm not a theory guy, but I do understand how scales work and key changes work. So I know that much. I mean, I know enough that I can, you know, have a kind of creative twist on key changes. And it doesn't have to be complicated to be good, you know. There's a lot of things you can do to make things sound, you know, absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to perform the whole thing now, a little arrangement I made just on the keyboard with a piano and a drum thing. So here it is. When you feel like giving up would be where the second verse would come in. Anyway, guys, I hope you like that. Let me know what you think. And until next week, I will see you. Have a wonderful weekend. I love you. I miss you. Keep writing, keep working, and I will see you on Monday. Peace.